Welcome to the program. Today we come to you from Philadelphia City. And remember, it is here in Philadelphia where the Constitution of the United States of America was unveiled 250 years ago. We'll take you through the sights and sounds of the city. And I'm lucky to have met a Kenyan here. His name is Paul Musumba. Mzuri sana. How long have you lived here in Philadelphia?
I've lived here for about 12 years now.
Yeah, Musumba has been here for 12 years. I mean, I'll go straight to one thing Kenyans always want to know. Is living in the US a bed of roses?
Forget it.
Why should I forget it?
No, it's a very tough land to live in.
Okay, now Musumba is a teacher by training. He'll tell us what he's doing now, how he came here to the US. And Musumba, we have a segment called My Magical Kenya. So stand by, but first, here is Philadelphia at a glance. Philadelphia, colloquially known as Philly, is the largest city in the state of Pennsylvania and the sixth most populous city in the US. Philadelphia played an instrumental role in the American Revolution as a meeting place for the founding fathers of the United States, who signed the Declaration of Independence in 1776 at the Second Continental Congress and the Constitution at the Philadelphia Convention of 1787. Philadelphia has many universities and colleges, making it a top study destination as the city has evolved into an educational and economic hub. Philly is the home to many US firsts, including the first library in 1731, the first hospital 1751, and medical school in 1765. The city is known for its cheesesteak sandwich, which was developed by Italian immigrants. A cheesesteak is a sandwich made from thinly sliced pieces of beefsteak and melted cheese in a long hoagie roll. Philadelphia has many restaurants that serve cheesesteaks. Regarding transport, the city is known for trams. Here, they are called trolleys. A tram is a rail vehicle that runs on tramway tracks along public urban streets.
This is supposed to mirror what we call the Champs-Élysées in France. Sasa ukiangalia kama pale nyuma, Champs-Élysées in France ni place yenye ilijengwa na architectural design unique. Yeah. So sasa zile walikuwa wanajenga hii parkway, walikuwa wanataka kujenga kama hiyo Champs-Élysées ya France. Sasa ukiangalia pale nyuma, ile ni art museum. Ndio sasa alafu ni art museum. Alafu ukiangalia pale nyuma ile ni Rotham Institute. Ukienda pale France, they all are in the same area. Alafu if you look straight, ile ni City Hall. Ile ndio City Hall. Alafu ukiangalia sasa hizi flags mirrors the same thing na Champs-Élysées ya France. So hizi flags, they represent all the countries zenye ziko represented Philadelphia. So it's kind of like showing you that Philadelphia is a United Nation kind of a deal. Mali wanasema these flags are representing the people that live in Philadelphia. So pale katikati kuna hiyo roundabout, papo wasemi roundabout, wanasema tu turning. Hapa ni mahali mzuri ya watu kukimbia, kufanya exercise. This is very touristic. Because it represents all the countries that are here. That's the Franklin Institute. It was built by Benjamin Franklin. Sasa hapa ndio where you have all the science vessels and science instruments in there, anything that's been invented in the country. That's his statue. And then opposite that, we have the Philadelphia Free Public Library. So Philadelphia has a reading culture, educational culture, right? As teachers, we use the Franklin Institute as a carrot. So we promise students a trip to the Franklin Institute if they do their work.
That's a motivation.
Oh, they love it. Oh, they love it. So, Alex, now welcome to the Love Park.
Yani mapenzi.
Mapenzi. Unaona, sasa hapa sasa hizi ni stalls. So kwa hizi stalls, these are the small vendors. So wanakubaliwa kukuja kuuza vitu zao saa ya Christmas. Okay? Ni kama marikiti. Ama kikomba. So they come sell the small wares.
It's season during Christmas.
Only during Christmas. And they're very beautiful wares. So hizi ni zile decorations unatumia kuweka kwa Christmas trees. So ni culture. Culture yenye watu wamezoea hapa for long. And it's good kwa sababu sasa unajua some of the vendors ukifikiria kuhusu economic recession yenye imefanyika kwa sababu ya COVID, you see now this is an opening for them. So at least now when some of these things are open, they can at least make some sales, nini pesa kidogo inakuja.
So it would have been busier were it not for COVID?
Oh, yes. Very busy, very busy. Hapa tungeweza tembea. So Suburban Station, hapa ndio mahali tunasemanga zinaitwa regional rail. So regional rail, these are the trains that are going outside the city, right? So hapa ndio unakuja una board, alafu unaenda. In the regional rail center, it's clean. It's disinfected. The trains are very clean. Once you go to the subway is the inner city trains now, and most of them are underground. Once you go to the subway, it's completely dirty. The subway is across.
But it's in the same city? It's
in the same city. In fact, you walk from the subway into the regional rail center, 2 hours of the same city.
What are these carrying things or what?
No, so these ones are for tourists, right? So you come and take a ride on the horses and the carriages. So something funny is that there's a place called Lancaster. Yes. Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Where the Amish people live. Amish people still are using this as their mode of transportation. Okay. So they bring it here. They're usually always here all throughout the year. So you take a ride, unakuja na girlfriend yako unampeleka date. Unamweka kwa horse. It's stylish, eh? Yeah, very stylish. Sana naipenda sana. Ukifanya hiyo, anakupenda zaidi. Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of discipline when you're crossing the road. Now, the one thing about huku ni passengers always have a right of way. So kama wewe ni gari lazima uongoje passenger kwanza wapite ndio uende. Kama unaona yule anafaa kupiga kona lakini lazima angoje kila mtu atembee. Unajua nyumbani the car has the right of way. Lakini sasa hapa ni passenger ako na right of way. This is Philly, but this is a point of Philly called Point Breeze. So Point Breeze used to be a black neighborhood, but what you realize, you start seeing empty lots, right? What you realize is that as a result of the economic recession, back in the late 90s until 2008, there's a lot of foreclosures, right? So people who are living here could not afford paying rent, could not afford paying their bills. So the bank foreclosed on the homes. So foreclosing on the homes, these people are pushed out of their homes, and that's when you start seeing empty lots. Now, as a result of these empty lots, then you start seeing a sprouting of this type of developments, which are not necessarily homes to people, but they're usually on short-term lease, what popularly known here as Airbnb, right? So people come live here for a day or 2, 3 days, and they're not residents of here. Okay. And that is why, if you come to some of these streets, right, you see empty parking spots. Because the people who are living in these buildings are not necessarily residents, they're just visitors. So you don't drive to come visit, right?
So the owners were pushed away?
The owners were pushed away. The owners were pushed away.
To just start life afresh?
To just start life afresh.
Wow.
And you
so they lost the money, the mortgages?
They lost their mortgages completely. They lost their mortgages completely. This used to be black neighborhoods, right? Now the culture, it started being white neighborhoods because, the people who can now afford this type of real estate are white people, right? So it became white neighborhoods, and that's the effect of gentrification. And gentrification was as a result of the economic recession.
Wow, it's quite chilly, Musumba.
It's a season. It's a winter season.
What's the temperature now? It's
it's about 4 degrees on Celsius and 36 on Fahrenheit.
Wow, I'm freezing. Now, on that note, viewers, we have to take a short break. We'll be back in a moment, but now we could maybe probably have a cup of tea.
Oh yeah, let's go get some.
Thank you.
Some food.
Welcome to Westridge Schools in Thika Greens. We are CBC compliant. Admission is ongoing for playgroup, pre-primary 1 and 2, also grade 1 to 4 and class 5 to 7, all mixed. We also have a girls' boarding high school. The safety of your child is assured with spacious classrooms and dormitories. We have unmatched modern laboratories, gymnasium, swimming pool, and a spacious playground. Secure your chance. Call us on 0794 896 995. Westridge Schools. Aim high, we fly together.
Welcome back. We are still in Philadelphia City, continuing with the story of Philadelphia through the eyes of Paul Musumba. And by the way, Musumba means
bachelor.
Bachelor, yes.
Yeah.
In my language, it's bachelor.
Jamaa jaoa.
Jamaa jaoa. Na yenyewe hujaoa.
Sijaoa bado.
Unangoja nini?
Hivi siku moja.
I was born in Pumwani Hospital. Niliishi Isili for almost like 20 years. I went to, my first primary school is called Bora, was behind Akamba. Second primary school was called Sunflower. Ya mwisho ilikuwa Kitale Academy. After kumaliza Kitale Academy, I went to Nairobi school. So I'm Luya, mimi ni Baluya, huko kwa watu wa kuku na chai. So I came to this city about 10-12 years ago. Na nilikuja kusoma. So nilikuwa Drexel, I started off at Drexel. After a few years at Drexel, took some few years off, went to Temple. So baada ya kumaliza kusoma Temple University. So I came in 2008, around October. And then I moved into Temple around 2012. I studied chemistry. So I started chemistry from Kenya. I was in Kenya Polytechnic. And then I transferred into Drexel and then transferred into Temple. So I finished at Temple. And then after Temple, that's when I started teaching. So I taught for about 7 years, and I still teach. I taught chemistry in a high school, I taught mathematics at Temple, I taught mathematics at a high school. Basically right now, one of the things I do is teach teachers how to teach. As a consultant, now I'm a consultant, and this is derived of the passion of teaching. So ile kitu niliona sana, there's an academic gap, right? When we were teaching, there's an academic gap. Academic gap, unapata watoto wanasoma at 7th grade ama 8th grade reading level, hiyo ni kama standard 7 ama standard 8 reading level, na wako 11th grade, hiyo ni kama form 3, right? So your gap, mimi kama mwalimu, how do I close it? So I can't teach children how to read and still teach them chemistry. Sasa hapo niko na hiyo gap, and I decided to step out of the classroom and now start a company to address those gaps. The company is called EduPrime LLC. So EduPrime is also very important. So EDU, EduPrime for education, and then Prime for premium. So we have about 7 full-time employees, and we have about 20 part-time employees. So at the moment, to now address almost 5,000 students in Philadelphia every day. And then to a campus, to a satellite office in Atlanta. In Atlanta, we're addressing about 2,000 students.
Okay. Yeah, and kuna Wakenya huku?
Kuna Wakenya wengi. In fact, 3 of our colleagues are Kenyans, right? So one Kenyan, Charles, is the head of educational and programming. Another Kenyan, Angela, who's the head of procurement. And another Kenyan, Joel, who's the head of data analysis. Yeah, so tunafanya kazi na Wakenya pia. Huku tu. So Alex, this is the university I was telling you about. So this is why I came after Drexel University.
Were you on scholarship?
I was on scholarship. I got government funding, and I also got some bit of scholarship here and there. One of the requirements was after I graduate, I do have to teach, and that's how I turned out to be a teacher, right? So this was the new library, the old library, all these are school buildings. And that was my department, the chemistry department. So I was there for about 5 years, 5 to 6 years. So after teaching, once we went to start a company, then I'll introduce you to my colleagues that we started together. So these are the principles of EduPrime. EduPrime. So Angela, I met Angela at Drexel. We were students together at Drexel. and then Mr. Shi and we taught together.
Nice to meet you.
And you.
Great. Yeah.
The educational system in Philadelphia is highly bureaucratic. There are lots of levels. There are lots of people who have to be addressed before you even get down to working with the student. So my role at Ep1 is helping to jump those barriers to get down to when we can work with students.
We get different proposals from the school district and other different institutions requesting different services that they require. We look at our board, see, this is what we can do, this is what we can do, figure out the prices that we're trying to charge them. If it works for them, if the amount works for them, then they reach back to us. If they want anything, any changes, if they want to negotiate the prices, then we sit down and discuss together if that's something we want to do, and just go from there, basically.
What are some of the challenges of living and working abroad? Is abroad a bed of roses?
Oh, no. Abroad is not a bed of roses at all. This is a country that you really have got to work hard, and then you also have to be smart about what you're doing, right? When we come here, we always come with the notion that hapa tutaingia and we shall make it within days, right? But once you come, alafu unakuja una realize cost of living just by itself is projected extremely expensive, right? Alafu unakuja unapata tukazi tudogo hatuwezi kupatia pesa ya kuishi. What they never realize is how much hard work has to be put in before you even start living.
Watu watakwambia mbona usirudi Kenya, unasema
hapana bwana. So if you go back to Kenya and if you think about it, you've been trained in America. Kenya does not accept us. I will never go to Kenya and teach. I have tried before. I'll never go to Kenya and teach, okay? The Ministry of Education does not even recognize my experience teaching here. So inakuwa tu ni ngumu, okay? So since my training is here, it's easy to teach here.
Finally, on this first episode of the year 2021, we take you to Ruma National Park on My Magical Kenya segment. Ruma National Park, like all other parks in Kenya, play a key role in domestic tourism. Now I'm told Ruma National Park has some unique wildlife and features. So I've come here to find out what exactly are those unique attractions. Ruma National Park is found in Homa Bay County, some 22 kilometers from Homa Bay town. The park is one of the largest national parks in Kenya's western region, covering an area of 120 square kilometers. Located at the shores of Lake Victoria, the park is a host to many undiscovered wildlife treasures.
The largest population we have is the Rothschild giraffe, followed by the zebras, also numerous in number, over 200, and the buffaloes. But other species that the numbers are quite low are the Lelwel hartebeest. Lelwel is also globally threatened. It's found here, but it's also found in other parts of Kenya. Ruma is known to host over 400 different species of birds. Once every year, that is between May and August, we normally host the globally threatened and intra-African migrant bird called the blue swallow, which migrates from this park down south to South Africa and coming back.
Indeed, when we toured the park, the most common animal we saw is the giraffe.
The Rothschild giraffe is found mostly in the western part of the country, going all the way to Uganda. And of course, the largest number is found in Ruma.
How do you describe it? It's maybe by the physique or the size? Or how different is it from the other giraffe?
The difference is not much, mostly seen in the coat pattern. And it's distinct when you see, it looks like it's wearing a pair of socks.
The other endangered animal here is the species of the antelope known as the roan antelope.
The name roan comes from the color roan, which is reddish brown. So the animals is reddish brown with the mane more or less horse-like, and it is large in size. Second to the greater kudu and the eland, and of course more or less similar size with the sable antelope.
Now, Ruma National Park is the only sanctuary in Kenya where you can find the endangered roan antelope. The park was established mainly to conserve that rare antelope as the flagship species.
The roan population have seen a tremendous decline from the 1970, where the number was around 200. Around 1989, the number went to below 50. Genetically, when the antelope population goes below 50, then the population becomes susceptible to what we call stochastic events like predation, droughts, and so on. That slashes the population down.
Talk of domestic tourism, and Ruma National Park is being marketed as one of the places to be. It has magnificent escarpments and towering cliffs that offer a beautiful scenery and a perfect place to tour with family and friends.
Apart from game viewing, visitors can also enjoy a beautiful and unique sceneries offered by the Kanyamua escarpment and the Gwasi Hills to the west. Visitors can also enjoy rich culture by interacting with the local communities.
We've come to the end of the show. Today we brought you the sights and sounds of Philadelphia City through the eyes of Paul Musumba, a Kenyan teacher who's been living here for over 12 years. Through his story, we've learned what it means to live and work in America. We hope you've enjoyed the show. And remember to subscribe to our channel, that is Chams Media TV. Until we meet again next time, my name is Alex Chamada. Bye-bye.
Kitisuru Amani Gardens apartments located near the International School of Kenya are almost complete. American kitchen with fitted cabinets, solar panels, bedrooms with an ensuite master bathroom, swimming pool, gym, backup generator and borehole, among other features. Call us. Our Kenyan number is +254 733 926 935. In the USA, call +1 205 948 7797. Kitisuru Amani Gardens Apartments, where elegance and luxury meet.